Hello, everyone. My name is Dominique Filas. I am the A&R Program Assistant over at UGA Extension in Clayton County. And today I'll be presenting beach treats, how to grow treats that you eat in the heat. All right. We all know that Georgia gets hot. We also know that in order to stay cool, we need to drink lots of water. But what about when it comes to food? We need to eat food that keeps us healthy and happy during these scorching months. Today, we will be going over how to grow those summer treats that you like to eat in the heat. When thinking about summer, what are some of the first few foods you think about? Watermelon, peaches, oranges? Well, today we will be going over that as well as a variety of other foods that are healthy and hydrating. Before we get into this, I would just like to let it be known that these plants aren't necessarily all summer growing plants, but just a variety of plants that are eaten during the summer months. We're going to be hitting three main points today. These points are summer snacks, how to grow the ingredients, and the benefits of eating healthy and staying hydrated during the summer. Let's talk about summer snacks. So today we are going over 10 different snacks that are typically eaten during the summer. Then we will be going over how to grow the ingredients for those snacks so that not only you can enjoy them, you can eat them homegrown as well and in a variety of different meals. The snacks we will be going over today include fresh spinach salad, watermelon with sweetened condensed milk, mint lemonade, peach iced tea, coconut chips, avocado toast, chocolate dipped tangerines, berry juice popsicles, cilantro and lime tacos, and lastly, homemade salsa and chips. The first thing that we're going to talk about is a fresh spinach salad. There are so many variations of this salad, but today I'm going to talk about what I personally think complements spinach. Start your salad by putting the amount of spinach desired in a bowl. Then get some ingredients together. For this salad, I'll be putting a mix of feta cheese, fresh mozzarella, and Parmesan. Next, I'm going to add shredded carrots, mushrooms, and black olives. After putting the vegetables in, I'll be adding some pulled chicken, and then I'll top it off with balsamic vinaigrette, slices of almonds, black sesame seeds, and some pepper. This recipe is just a personal suggestion of what can go into a fresh spinach salad. If you have the freedom you have the freedom to be as creative as you want. You can make an apple chicken spinach salad, a Greek salad, a club salad, a sun-dried tomato salad, or any combination of ingredients that to make that perfect fresh spinach salad. Watermelon with sweetened condensed milk. This recipe is actually something that my dad introduced me to. This is also a very easy and quick snack to make when you and your family are at the beach. If you want to avoid getting sand in your watermelon, you may want to cut your watermelon at home and then bring it to the beach in a Ziploc bag. Cut your watermelon into slices, preferably in a triangular shape. For this example, we're going to want to go with a seedless watermelon. After you cut your watermelon, drizzle the slices with sweetened condensed milk. Make sure you get this in a squeeze bottle and not a can for easy accessibility. Just a warning, this is very sweet, but it is definitely worth it. And for an extra kick, try sprinkling some granola or oatmeal or squeezing some lime to make it more tart and flavorful. Mint lemonade. This is such a refreshing drink to have on a hot summer day. Lemonade is one of the most thirst-quenching drinks in my opinion, and adding mint to lemonade will make it have an even more refreshing taste. In order to make mint lemonade, you're going to need a few ingredients as well as a blender. You're going to need a handful of washed fresh mint leaves, 2 to 4 tablespoons of organic maple syrup, freshly squeezed lemon juice from 2 medium lemons, 2 quarts of water, a blender, a strainer, and a glass container. First, after making sure that your mint leaves are washed, you're going to want to juice the lemons. Use 1.5 quarts of water and put that into the blender and add the lemon juice, the organic maple syrup to taste, and mint leaves. Blend for 30 to 60 seconds. After blending, strain the mixture and pour it into the glass container. Refrigerate the container, and then you can enjoy a nice ice cold glass of mint lemonade. For an extra boost, you may want to add some carbonated water for a bubbly mint lemonade. Peach iced tea. Peach iced tea is another great drink to include in your summer diet. Everyone likes either hot or iced tea, and this diverse drink is delicious both ways. During the winter, having a nice hot cup of peach tea goes a long way, and during the summer, a nice cold cup of iced peach tea is insatiable. This drink only takes about 10 minutes to prepare, it's easy, and this recipe will serve up to 12 people. The ingredients that you will need are 200 grams of sugar, 5 ripe peaches, 4 stoned and chopped, and 1 slice to serve, and 4 tea bags. First, pour sugar and water into the pot and bring it to a boil slowly to make sure that the sugar is fully dissolved. Then, sieve the syrup through a fine sieve into a jug, mashing the fruit to release all the liquid. Next, put the tea bags in a large heat-proof jug and pour the hot water over. Leave it to steep for 4 minutes, then carefully remove the tea bags. Leave them to cool, then transfer over the fridge until it is chilled. The last step is to stir the peach syrup into the iced tea with ice and add slices of peach to serve. Coconut chips. Coconut chips are an amazing snack to have with you anywhere. You're going to need 1 fresh coconut, a vegetable peeler, and something to top them with. First, open the coconut and pry the coconut meat. Use the vegetable peeler, peel off the brown skin from the coconut pieces. Then, rinse off and dry the white coconut pieces. Using the vegetable peeler again, peel off strips of coconut until you have finished making coconut chips with the entire coconut. Using an oven or dehydrator, dry out the coconut chips until they are completely dried out. To toast them, you continue to heat the coconuts until they slowly become toasted. First, they will turn a golden yellow and then a darker brown color. They toast very quickly and also burn very quickly, so be careful. Avocado toast. There isn't really much to explain about avocado toast. First, pick some healthy bread to put your spread on. My suggestion would be either a whole grain or sprouted grain bread. Toast the bread, and while it's toasting, make your spread. It's up to you, but you can either just slice avocado slices and put it on top, or you can make this spread. For me, I like to put vegan butter, lime juice, and a splash of cream. You can add whatever spices you would like as long as it tastes good to you. After your bread is toasted, put your spread on, and it's as simple as that. Chocolate dipped tangerines. Chocolate dipped tangerines are also a very simple recipe. Go to your local market and get some tangerines. Don't be shy about the tangerines you get because tangerines have amazing health benefits. Tangerines have a whopping 44% of vitamin C and an amazing amount of potassium as well as vitamin A and B6. Peel the tangerines and then melt some chocolate. The best choice for nutrition would be dark chocolate. Once the tangerines are peeled and the dark chocolate is melted, dip the tips of the tangerine slices into the chocolate and then sit them on a tray in the refrigerator so that the chocolate can solidify. You may want to sprinkle some sea salt or cinnamon or possibly drizzle some caramel on the chocolate side to add a bit more flavorful fun. Berry juice popsicles. There are many variations of fruit juice popsicles that you can make, but there are so many health benefits in berries and berry juice, and this is the perfect healthy snack for the beach. This recipe only takes about 10 minutes to prep for. For this recipe, you're going to need a 1/3 cup of pure cane sugar and 2 cups of fruit juice from berries like strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries. In a small saucepan, bring sugar and a 1/3 cup of water to a boil over high, stirring until the sugar dissolves. Refrigerate until cool, and then stir in your fruit juice. Pour the mixture into the pop molds, preferably 8-ounce ice pop molds, and freeze until solid for 6 hours up to 2 weeks. Cilantro and lime tacos. There are so many different ways to create this recipe. You can create this with chicken, steak, fish, shrimp, crab, or any sort of meat of your choice. You can even omit the meat and make an all-veggie dish. For this recipe, I'll be using shrimp as my example. First, you create a garlic lime marinating sauce and then marinate your shrimp in it for about 20 minutes. While waiting on the shrimp to marinate, create a coleslaw from avocado, cabbage, garlic, and red onions. Mix together with lime juice. Then create a garlic lime mayonnaise. In a medium bowl, combine mayonnaise, hot sauce, garlic, lime juice, and seasoned salt. Now, take the fully marinated shrimp and cook it until it's pink, about 3 minutes per side. To build the tacos, add a scoop of slaw, a few shrimp, and a drizzle of the garlic lime mayo to each taco. Garnish with cilantro and lime, and then serve to eat. Homemade salsa and chips. This simple 3-ingredient recipe is sure to be a household favorite. This fresh tomato salsa is easy to make and healthy as well. You are going to need 4 medium-sized tomatoes, olive oil, 1 large white onion, 1 jalapeno, and a teaspoon and a half of salt. Prepare a grill or grill pan for medium-high heat. Slice 2 tomatoes in half and brush each half with oil. Brush the onion with oil. Transfer the onions and tomato halves onto the hot grill and cook, turning occasionally until slightly charred or softened for about 10 minutes. Let it cool slightly. Remove the seeds from the remaining 2 tomatoes and cut into a 1/4 of an inch cube. Transfer to a medium bowl. Add jalapeno and salt and toss to combine. Finally, chop the cooled onions and tomatoes and then add the raw tomato mixture and toss to combine. You can either find a recipe to make your own tortilla chips, or you can just fry some corn tortillas. Now we will be going over some of the fruits and vegetables included in these recipes. A lot of the information provided is in the Old Farmer's Almanac, and I highly suggest you check them out and the additional information beyond what's said in the next section. Tomatoes. In some of the recipes listed previously, you need to have tomatoes to make those recipes work. Tomatoes aren't very hard to grow. They're incredibly productive and they taste the best fresh from the vine. Read more at the Farmer's Almanac to get the full details. Make sure you have full sun for your tomatoes. Site selection is extremely important. They also prefer a slightly acidic soil with a pH from 6.2 to 6.8. You need to make sure you start indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the average last spring frost date. Then you transplant the seedlings after the last spring frost when the soil has warmed. 2 weeks before planting, dig into the soil about 1 foot deep and mix in aged manure or compost. Set the young plants outdoors for a couple of hours in the shade for the first day, and then gradually increase the amount of time that the plants are outside each day to include some direct sunlight. Put tomato cages or stakes in the soil at the time of planting to avoid damaging the roots later on. Apply 2 to 3 pounds of a complete fertilizer, such as 5-10-5, 10-10-10, or 6-10-4 per 100 square feet of garden area. Do not apply high nitrogen fertilizers such as those recommended for lawns. Excessive nitrogen will promote luxurious foliage but will delay flowering and fruiting. Cilantro. Cilantro is needed in the recipe for cilantro and lime tacos. Cilantro is a cool season crop that does best at temperatures between 50 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. It can tolerate temperatures as low as 10 degrees Fahrenheit, but if temperatures exceed 85 degrees Fahrenheit, it will start to bolt. Cilantro prefers a light, well-drained, moderately fertile loam or sandy soil, and it will tolerate many soils as long as nutrient levels and moisture are monitored. Cilantro should be fertilized twice. Apply half of a teaspoon of ammonium nitrate per square foot. The plant's most critical need for water occurs during seedling germination and establishment. After the plants become established, they don't need much water. To establish them from seeds, set the seeds in a soft, well-tilled and composted soil in January or February for a spring crop, or in September for a fall crop. Set the seeds 2 inches apart in rows that are 12 to 15 inches apart if you are planning to harvest cilantro leaves. If you plan to harvest the seeds, plant them 8 inches apart in rows that are 15 inches apart. You can harvest cilantro leaves after 45 to 70 days following seeding. Cut the exterior leaves when they reach 4 to 6 inches long. You can also cut the whole plant about 1 to 2 inches above the soil level to use both small and larger leaves. Mint. Mint is a perennial with very fragrant toothed leaves and tiny purple, pink, or white flowers. They thrive in light soil with good drainage. Mint is also a great bug repellent. They prefer a moist but well-drained site like their native habitat along stream banks. They will tolerate some shade, but the variegated types may require some protection from the direct sun. Plant cuttings or purchase plants about 2 feet apart in moist soil. 1 or 2 plants will easily cover the ground. Mint should grow to be 1 to 2 feet tall. In the garden, you should plant mint near cabbage and tomatoes in order to prevent it from spreading and stealing nutrients from other crops. If possible, try to grow these in pots or containers. They are shallow rooted and easy to pull out, so there's no reason to worry as long as you provide physical barriers such as walls, walkways, or containers. Watermelon. In order to make watermelon with sweetened condensed milk, you should probably know how to grow watermelon if you prefer homegrown sweets. Melons need warm temperatures and a long growing season in order to thrive. They prefer a temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. Sow watermelon seeds directly outdoors 1 to 2 weeks after your last frost date, as long as the soil temperature has warmed to at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Warmer soils helps prevent poor germination. Amend the soil with aged manure, seaweed, or compost before planting because watermelons feed heavily. Watermelons prefer a soil pH between 6 and 7 or slightly acidic. If you are growing in rows, space 6 feet by 6 feet apart. Watering is very important from planting until fruit begins to form. While melon plants are growing, blooming, and setting fruit, they need 1 to 2 inches of water per week. Keep the soil moist, but not waterlogged. Water the vine's base in the morning and try to avoid wetting the leaves and avoid overhead watering. Once the fruit are growing, reduce the watering. Dry weather produces the sweetest melon. Coconut. Unfortunately, you aren't going to be able to grow coconut in Georgia, as coconut palms are damaged when temperatures drop below freezing. They're grown from Miami southward for their tropical look and for their fruit. The trick to growing a coconut palm tree is to keep the coconut well watered during germination without letting it sit in overly wet soil. Water the coconut frequently, but make sure the container drains very well. You should see the seedling appear in 3 to 6 months. If you want to plant a coconut that has already sprouted, go ahead and plant it in well-draining soil so that the bottom 2/3 of the coconut is in the soil. Place in a warm area and water frequently. Berries. For the berry juice popsicle, we're going to focus on how to grow blackberries. Plant when the canes are dormant, preferably in the early spring. Planting may also be done in late fall, however, it should be delayed until early spring in the very cold areas as low temperatures could kill some hybrid varieties. Blackberries and their hybrids are all self-fertile, so multiple plants are not needed for fruit production. Select the site that receives full sun for the best berry yields. Soil needs to be fertile with good drainage. Add organic content to enrich your soil. Make sure you plant your blackberries far away from wild blackberries, which may carry plant diseases that could weaken your own plants. Mulching is important throughout the season to conserve moisture and suffocate weeds. Keep a thick layer of mulch surrounding plants at all times. Pick only berries that are fully black. Mature berries are plump yet firm, a deep black color, and pull freely from the plant without a yank. Berries do not ripen after being picked. Avocado. Before attempting to grow avocado, just remember that you cannot grow these successfully outdoors in Georgia. However, these do really well in Florida. For the sake of the avocado toast recipe, I'll be going over how to grow these. Avocados are tropical evergreen trees that can grow 40 to 80 feet tall. The avocado fruit is considered a large berry. Avocado trees cannot stand the extreme cold. Do not grow seedlings from supermarket avocados for several reasons. Avocados do not come true from seed. Ungrafted seedlings may take up to 10 to 15 years to bear fruit, and salty irrigation water can cause moderate to severe leaf tip burn on these plants. Plant the trees no closer than 10 to 15 feet from the house. Space avocado trees 20 to 30 feet from each other and from other large trees. An avocado tree will produce a few fruit 2 or 3 years after establishment if it is a grafted variety, has grown well, and has been protected during the winters. To determine whether the avocados are mature, pick a couple of fruit and set them inside of a house out of direct sunlight. A mature fruit will soften in 3 to 8 days. If the fruit doesn't soften, pick fruit again every week or so until they soften. Overripe fruit can be pureed and frozen for later use, particularly for avocado dips and cream soup. Tangerines. In order to grow tangerines, you need to purchase tangerine seeds from a garden center or nursery. You also have the option of saving the seeds from a fresh tangerine. Wash the fresh seeds thoroughly, as the sweet juices may cause the seed to mold. Fill a small pot with commercial potting mixture and use a fresh mixture that contains materials such as compost, peat moss, and perlite. Be sure that pot has drainage holes in the bottom, as poorly drained soil will rot the young seedlings. Water the potting mixture and then set the pot aside to drain until the mixture is lightly moist but not soggy. Plant 2 or 3 seeds in the pot. Cover the seeds with half an inch of potting mixture. Water as needed to keep the pot mixture moist but not soggy. Cover the pot with clear plastic or slide the pot into a plastic bag. The plastic promotes germination by keeping the potting mixture warm and moist. Then remove the plastic covering as soon as the seedlings emerge. Move the pot into a location with bright indirect sunlight and room temperatures about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid direct sunlight, which may scorch the tangerine seedlings. Repot the seedlings into individual 4 to 6 inch pots when the seedlings have a pair of true leaves. Continue to keep the potting soil lightly moist. Repot the tangerine trees into larger containers as it grows, using a pot only slightly larger each time. The moisture in a too large pot may cause the plant to rot. Plant the tree outdoors in spring if you live in a warm climate. Lemon. If you want a fresh glass of lemonade, you can always grow your very own lemon tree to have the best lemons possible. During the winter months, these abundant fruit trees can grow indoors and will produce beautiful blooms that will make the house fragrant. Make sure to use organic lemon seeds because non-organic lemons contain non-sprouting seeds. Moisten the soil so that it's damp all the way through, and then fill the planting pot to about an inch below the rim. Cut open your lemon and remove a seed. Don't let the seed completely dry, it must remain moist when it's buried. Plant it about half an inch down in the middle of the pot and then seal the soil directly above it with a light spray of water. Next, cover the pot with a clear plastic wrap, seal the edges, and poke small holes in the top before placing it in direct sunlight. Remember to keep hydrating. Never let the soil dry out, but don't spray too heavily either. And about 2 weeks later, a seedling will emerge. Take the plastic covering off, but continue to keep the soil damp. Make sure that the young plant gets 8 full hours of light per day, and intermittent doses of organic fertilizer is needed. After the 3rd year, healthy lemon trees will begin to produce fruit. Spinach. Spring plantings can be made as soon as the soil can be properly worked. In order to give spinach the required 6 weeks of cool weather from seeding to harvest, it's important to seed as soon as you can. If you live in a place with mild winters, you can also plant in the fall. Wait to plant until the soil temps are cool enough. Select a planting site with full sun or partial sun at least, and well-drained soil. Prepare the garden soil with aged manure about a week before planting, or you may wish to prepare your spot in the fall so that you can sow the seed outdoors in early spring as soon as the ground thaws. Although seeds can be started indoors, it is not recommended as seedlings are difficult to transplant. Keep an eye on your plants and harvest when the leaves reach the desired size. Don't wait too long to harvest or wait for larger leaves. Bitterness will set in quickly after maturity. Peaches. Peach trees should be planted while they're dormant, typically in late winter or early spring, depending on the climate. It's best to plant the trees the same day that you get them to reduce stress. Potted trees can tolerate not being planted for a little while, but bare root trees should be planted as soon as possible. For the best fruit production, the trees should be planted in an area that receives full sun all day long. Morning sun is especially crucial because it helps to dry morning dew off the fruit. Choose a site with well-drained, moderately fertile soil. Peach trees won't do well in areas where soil is compacted or remains consistently wet. Soil pH should be on the slightly acidic side between 6 and 6.5. Be sure to avoid planting in low areas as cold air and frost can more easily settle there and affect the quality of your peaches. Dig a hole that is a few inches deeper and wider than the spread of the roots. Set the tree on top of a small mound of soil in the middle of the hole. Be sure to spread the roots away from the trunk without excessively bending them. For container-grown trees, remove the plant from its pot and remove any circling roots by laying the root ball on its side and using clean shears to cut through the offending roots. About 4 to 6 weeks after the tree blooms, thin the fruit so that they are 6 to 8 inches apart on the branch. If too much fruit is left on the tree, it is likely to be smaller and subpar. Thinning the fruit ensures that the tree will focus energy on the remaining fruit. Prune and fertilize to encourage 10 to 18 inches of new growth during spring and summer. Tea leaves. Most tea in the supermarket shelves are made from the tea plant Camellia sinensis. Camellia sinensis is a hardy evergreen plant boasting glossy green, pointed, and fragrant leaves. First, soak your tea seeds in water for between 24 to 48 hours. This allows the seeds to absorb as much water as it can and help to kickstart the germination process. In general, the seeds that sink give the highest chances of successful germination, although this by no means guaranteed. Once removed from the water, place in a seed tray in a warm, sunny position and spray to keep damp. Allow the seeds to come back to air temperature and then cover over with an inch of coarse vermiculite. Keep the soil moist in a warm, sunny position. Hopefully, germination will occur 6 to 8 weeks later. Once germination of your tea seeds has occurred and the plants have developed 3 or 4 leaves, it is time to separate them into pots. Tea plants are generally dormant in winter months, so spring should bring evidence of new growth in the first flush of tea shoots. Pluck the first 2 bright green leaves and the bud from each branch using finger and thumb. This should be easy to do with a gentle pluck. Regular harvesting like this encourages further growth and helps to create a more bushy shrub. These young apple green leaves are then ready to be brewed into a common cup of tea. Now we will be going over the benefits of eating healthy during the summer and just why it's important to stay hydrated and eat lots of nutrients. Stay hydrated. During the hot summer months, staying hydrated is one of the most important things you can do. An important part of being healthy in the summer is making sure your body has enough water to cool off. Drinking enough water each day is crucial because it helps regulate body temperature, keeps your joints lubricated, prevents infections, delivers nutrients to cells, and keeps organs functioning properly. Experts recommend drinking roughly between 11 to 16 cups of water a day. You can get some of your daily hydration through some of the recipes recommended. Eating healthy has the great benefit of improving your energy levels. It is very important to maintain a normal blood sugar, and the best way to accomplish this is to eat. This will help maintain muscle tissue, which burns more calories than fat tissue. Eating unhealthy and large quantities of food stimulates insulin production and the deposition of fat. Eating healthful snacks and keeping them with you so you don't go long periods of time without fuel in your tank or unhealthy convenient options is important. By eating right and drinking well, you help your body stress less. By making healthy food choices, you're helping lower the levels of cortisol, a stress hormone. Some important nutrients for stress reduction include vitamin C, complex carbohydrates, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids. Some of the healthy food that have stress-reducing properties is dark chocolate, which you can dip in the tangerines in, and oatmeal, which you can sprinkle on the sweet condensed milk and watermelon. The benefits of eating healthy for your mental health is called nutritional psychiatry. Your brain functions the best when it gets the best fuel. Diets high in refined sugars are harmful to your brain. It also worsens your body regulation of insulin. They also promote inflammation and oxidative stress. The correlation between a diet high in refined sugars and impaired brain function, as well as worsening symptoms of mood disorders like depression. By eliminating these things from your diets, you're improving your mental health. By learning to cook with different vegetables and fruits, it challenges you mentally to come up with new recipes. There are so many recipes that you can try when you experiment with new ingredients. When you incorporate not only vegetables like squash and asparagus or fruits like apples and jackfruit and combine them with spices like sage and dill, you're guaranteed to have a healthy and delicious meal. So I used a plethora of resources which are listed here for further reference. And now that you all have learned about healthy summer treats that you eat in the heat, I hope you're able to take some of these recipes, growing tips, and healthy benefit facts to heart and implicate them into your everyday lives. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you think of any questions later, feel free to email me at the emails listed, and I hope you have a great day.